All right. Hello, everybody. This is the Simply Stupid Guy podcast. Now, I decided I was going to start a podcast because I got a lot of stuff going on in my mind. I don't got any outlet for it. And I decided, because I listened to a lot of different podcasts, that I would make my own. And I never, it's taken me about 2 months to actually get this video out. So this is going to be my intro video. This is going to be just me for, I don't know, 15, 20 minutes, maybe a little bit shorter, maybe a little bit longer. But I wanted to make my first video. I want to put it out there. I want to get it on there. And so I can't figure out how to put it on a regular podcast site. I decided to put it on YouTube and do a video podcast. And I want to do one once a week. I want to try to make them like an hour or two long. And I just want to talk about things that like I see going on in the world, where I think I fit in the world, and what goes on in the world. And I'm not expecting anything to come with this. This is just me coming out there the cheapest way possible. All I have is I have a free tablet from Verizon from my account and Turtle Beach headphones, sitting in the most well-lit room in my house, which you could probably tell is my bathroom. And so let's begin. My name is Michael, but my friends call me Peck. My last name is Peck, so I'm Michael Peck. I live in Virginia. I've lived here my whole life, and it's actually a weird state to live in. To tell you the truth, I used to live in Richmond, Virginia, and I moved up to the Roanoke area, and the people, and it's so different between how people run their businesses and people you work with, because when I was Richmond, most of the time it's not about who you know, it's about how good you work. Because I worked in corrections, and that's how I ended up coming up here. Is I worked in corrections down in Richmond, and the supervisors there, they wanted the people that work really hard to get the supervisor positions, to get those interviews, to really go forward. Like if you worked hard, they relied on you. They gave you more hours. They treated you with respect. And then I transferred up here, and sorry, my phone going off, and it changed. It wasn't about working hard. It's about who you know, like who you related to, who you dating, who you married to, who your kids are, where you went to school with, who you grew up with. And I'm finding that every single job is almost like that up here, and it's insane. But I do it. I work. I do my job. I don't worry about it. But the things that like the reason why I want to make this is like I'm sitting there and I'm watching and I'm listening, and you talk about generations. You talk about these different generations. Like you talk about the millennials. People always talk about this. That's the generation I'm in. I don't feel that I'm a millennial. I don't feel that I'm a generation, because I don't feel entitled to anything. I don't feel like I know everything. There's so much for me to learn. There's so much for me to do. And I just have to go out there and try to do it, try to find it. But at the same time, it doesn't always work like that. Sometimes, you have to figure out what's really going on. And the generation before kind of brought up this new generation, and this and if you look at it, these generations, they come together, they failed. It's a failed generation. Two generations have created, it's like old generation has helped create a failure generation, and the next generation is coming out. Well, I don't fit in either one. I don't fit in the old generation. I don't fit in the current one, and I probably don't fit in the new one. I like to think that, out of these three generations, there are people like me. I won't call them the Twilight generation. Like, because instead of hanging out with people through middle school and high school and go partying and go to college and all that. Like the one thing I would do is I would go to the park. And I would go there and I spend about 2 to 3 hours at the park just looking up at the stars, trying to figure shit out. Just trying to figure out shit. You know. Trying to figure out, why am I here? What am I doing with myself? Where am I going with myself? Is it really worth it to go and do this or do that? And one thing is I haven't done that in like years. I haven't done that since since I got out of high school. I haven't gone to a park. I haven't sat back. I haven't looked at stars. I haven't sat back and watched and just wondered and pondered. And I want to do a podcast where I'm outside like that. I just gotta get better lighting. I can see that now. We need better lighting for that. But I want to be able to go out there and I want to do that. Other things about me, I have very few, I have very many acquaintances, people I've met through my working life, and very few friends. Like I have two best friends. That's it. And it really sucks because one lives in Richmond and one moved to Germany. Like, why the fuck did you go to Germany? Like, I can't even visit you, motherfucker. I don't have a passport. I'm not going to Germany. I have no intentions to go to Germany because I don't speak German. I don't even want to go there on vacation. Fuck that shit. But my friend Richmond is like, yeah, I can see him when I have money and I have time. Which, in this society now, money and time is just everything. Like, just so, busy, work. And then money, I make shit money. I do. And I take care of my kids and all that. It's just, fuck. And on top of that, like, I don't have a college degree. I'm a hands-on worker. I don't have anything that's really gonna, that somebody else can't have. I just have a really good work ethic. That's it. And I'm hoping that work ethic puts out for me because the past 2 years, it's been a hard fucking 2 years of my life. Like I've always, from age 12, I started working. And like I started out making $6 an hour. Then I started making $7 an hour. Then I got to the point I got 18, started making $10 an hour. Then started making $12 an hour. And then I started working corrections. Started out at $30,000 a year. Got up a little bit to almost $32,000 a year. Then I left corrections. And that was my mistake. I left corrections. I say it now, it was a mistake, but at the same time, it wasn't. It wasn't because like my health was more important than working there. The money, my safety is more important than working there. That place, they did not listen to things about safety. They just did what they wanted to do. And it's bad when they're hiring 20 to 30 people a month and none of them are staying a year. That's a lot of people. That's a fuck ton of people. That's like 200 people a year you're hiring. And only 3 or 4 staying a year. That's horrible. And like you're firing them, they're quitting, and you're firing them because they're bringing stuff in. They're bringing cigarettes, they're bringing drugs. Some of them having sex with offenders. That's bad. But when I left corrections, I started working as a manager, and I was making, like, my starting off was $40,000 a year, but I did the math halfway through, and I was like on my track to making over $42,000 a year. And I was in the process of buying this land, getting this house built, and then I got fired. And what did I get fired for? My stupidest fucking reason in the world. Facebook. And what did I do on Facebook? I made a post with cuss words in it. Yeah, it was fucking stupid. And I didn't even know you get fired for just cussing. But, they're like, yeah, it wasn't directed towards anybody. Nothing that could be proven as directed towards anybody. I had like my Facebook page, like I have fucking crappy Facebook. You know, I only had like at most times I only had like 50 people on my Facebook page, people that I went to school with and I talked to every now and then, because a lot of them, you know, they were in the military. Like I had a couple of Marine friends in there, a couple of Navy friends in there, you know, and like, you know, a couple of girls that I went to school with like years ago that live in different states, married, stuff like that. That I just keep in touch with because, you know, we were cool back in school, and like we haven't seen each other. We talk, you know, every once in a while, you know, see how shit's going. But yeah, they fired me for using inappropriate language. And it really, that was just the excuse that they used. The real problem was like I was calling them out on their bullshit, and they didn't like it because the two people that were above me were younger than me. They were a little bit more inexperienced in the restaurant business and managing, you know, managing stuff. And like I had experience in a restaurant. I understood, you know, rotating your inventory, rotating your stock, so you always have fresh ingredients. You know, not something like the one thing, like the dude would order like 70 boxes of fries and never rotate the fries. And he's like, because they're in the freezer, they would never, like, they wouldn't go bad. Like, yeah, they won't go bad. It's like, but there's a thing called freezer burn. Like, no, there's not. Like, yeah, there is. You leave something in the freezer long enough, it'll get freezer burn. Especially considering that the fries sit in a cardboard box and like a cardboard bag with like a plastic inlining. Yeah, it's going to get freezer burn eventually. Especially if you're going to leave it in there for 6-7 months. But I don't feel bad because I got fired. One of the other managers that I was really cool with, they tried to get him fired. He transferred out. And now, in like a year later, you go in there and only like 5 people that we were working with still work there. Like everybody else, they either quit or they transferred because they didn't want to work under the under these managers that were above us. And you know, it's sad because, you know, these are young guys, these are young people, and you know, I was trying to, you know, I tried to be respectful with them. I tried to tell them respectfully, but you know, between the lying and the standing on top of people, I just, you know, it just wasn't going to work out to begin with. And like, you know, I tried to be honest. I try to be respectful. Like now, where I'm working at now, I got one supervisor above me, and everybody talks about like he's not respectful. He talks to people, talks down to people like he's better than people. And a lot of the older guys that like I work with, I talk to, and they're like, yeah, he's just like that. We just ignore him. But to me, it's like, you know, it's a sign of respect. Like I'm talking to you respectfully. Why don't you talk to me respectfully? And he just doesn't want to do it. He just doesn't care. And you know, I would go above his head. I would say something, but the person above his head is like his best friend. Like they grew up together. And people told me, yeah, it's like, you know, and I could see it too, because like they're tight. They text each other, they call each other while they're at work. It's insane. It's crazy. And I just like, yeah, you know, I could say something, and his little buddy would be like, yeah, he says something to me about, you know, your attitude and your how you talk to him, like you're not being very respectful to him, you know, just to cool it down. And instead, he's not gonna cool it down because there's another guy I work with that he's really quick to temper, and this guy's like on him all the time, and he has legit complaints about the dude. But the thing is, like, he's just so quick to anger that he just doesn't. He just doesn't. He can't get his complaints out because they just look at him like he's a hothead. There's no reason. There's no reason for us to believe him. It's like he's a hothead. He's just quick to temper. It was like anything sets him off. But he's not. He's not that kind of guy. He's actually a really cool guy. I actually like him. And it's actually kind of funny because we sit on 2 different sides of the line. Because he actually was arrested, was convicted of a crime, and here I am. I was a correctional officer. We're in the same facility together, years apart. He was there way before I started working in corrections because I'm a lot younger than him. And I like him because He's up front. There's no side dealing, going back and forth. So I like him. He's a cool dude. There's actually a lot of cool people that work there, but the problem is not a lot of them are up front. I'm a very upfront person. I just how I see it is how I tell it. How I tell it is how I see it. And I might not have been like that in my younger years, but as I'm getting older, you know what's the point? What's the point of lying? Just tell them the truth. Just let's have why should I downgrade myself? Because eventually people are gonna find out about your lies. They always do. I mean, you can lie about the most simplest thing, but the problem is, if you forget who you lied to and you forget what the lie is, everybody's gonna find out. So just tell the truth. Be yourself. Tell the truth. That's what I want to do. That's what I do now. I tell the truth. I try to be as honest as I possibly can, and I stopped caring about people's feelings. Now the other thing that is going off all completely subject, why I started this is because I see like this cultural change, and it's in the media, it's in our politics, it's in Hollywood, and it seems, and I don't know where it came from, but it seems it's okay to molest and rape children, and molest and rape adults, and if you sit high enough up, it's okay. And in the politic world, they sit in their office forever. I can't comprehend it. Why we don't have term limits, why we don't vote these people out. And somebody said to me, it's like, well, the problem you have is you have a lot of older people that will vote the same way no matter what. If they're a person that constantly votes R, they're going to vote R. If they're a constant person that votes D, they're going to vote D. I didn't really think about it too much, but I see that. I see that with my grandparents, and I see that with my girl's grandparent. With my girl's parents, because they're about the same age as my grandparents. And the thing is, like, during the whole Hillary and Trump thing, which gets everybody heated up, is like they're very, very democratic, so they're voting for Hillary. And my girl, I believe she voted the same way as them. I'm not sure, but she has a different mindset than them, which is insane. But I remember a conversation I had with her, and it was about the Hillary email scandal. And she was like, "Well, so what? She sent some emails, weren't on a server that everybody does something like that." I'm like, yeah, but see, the thing is, she sent thousands of them, and there's people spending 20, 30 years of their life in a federal prison for sending one. And here she is, she's sending thousands of them. Who knows what's on them? Like, who knows? That's just the beginning of her corruption. And, but at the end of the day, she still votes whoever she votes. But I've seen, like, there's a difference in political ideas. Like, my girl, she votes mostly Democratic, but she doesn't think that way policy-wise. She thinks differently. Like, and in me, I'm starting to stop doing it. I'm not voting Republican anymore. I'm not voting Democratic anymore. I decided that I'm no longer going to do that, because these are too old. I mean, you're voting for the jackass or the big dumbass to be in office, and it's two sides of the same coin. And now it's coming out like a lot of these people, they've been in there 40, like 20, 40 years. These are old people and have all these sex scandals, but yet again, nobody's voting them out. Like, you look at the Moore thing in Alabama, and people are like, "Yeah, well, we need to keep them in there because we can't lose a seat." I'd rather lose a seat than keep a child molester in office. I'd rather hold up my morals and my dignity than to allow pedophiles and rapists make my laws, determine how I should live my life. And that's, and I think that's what we all should do. But it's so hard because people are just so entwined to vote one way or another because of some stupid tribalism, some stupid belief that their party's better than yours. I will say it now. There's nobody on the Republican side that's better than a Democrat, and there's no Democrat that's better than a Republican. There's not. No matter which way you take it, there's not. I mean, Republicans, what, you gonna throw Ron Paul out there? Look at fucking Ron Paul. He don't vote for shit because he doesn't want to vote for something that's going to make him look bad. And what Democrats going to say? Well, look at Bernie Sanders. Look at Bernie Sanders. Yeah, he wants communism. He's a socialist. He's an old fruit basket that hasn't done anything and hasn't done anything in his time in politics until the past couple of years. He doesn't care about the people. It's Planet C. He doesn't worry about crime. He doesn't worry about black people. He lives in Vermont. What the fuck? What kind of black people does he see in Vermont? That's a bunch of old, rich, white people living up there. That crime statistic up there is so fucking low that the people that they got up there are fucking young people snatching old ladies' purses. And a lot of people, and like I get this a lot because I like my Confederate flag. I like my "Don't Tread on Me." That doesn't make me racist. I like black culture, but I like my Southern pride. And I don't look at the I don't look at it the same way as other people do sometimes. I mean, when I was growing up in the 90s, like at the early 90s, they had the Ku Klux Klan, all that, you see them on news marching, all that. And then coming to the late 90s, early 2000s, like I didn't see any of that shit on the news. I didn't see anything about them. Nothing. For years, I didn't see anything about them. And maybe I was just blind to it. Maybe I just didn't notice it. But then all of a sudden Trump becomes president, and all of a sudden here they are. They're all over the fucking place. And maybe it's because everybody's being called a racist. Maybe it's because, maybe it's because, you keep throwing a certain racial group, a certain ethnic group, a certain gender group under a bus for so many years. They're gonna form a group. They're gonna join groups without understanding the consequences of that problem of that group. And like I remember watching a documentary on Nazis, on skinheads. And it talked about Southern skinheads and Northern skinheads. And the same thing with both groups is, what do they look for when they try to find members? They try to find members that are they don't have a social clique. They're not in a social clique. They're being bullied. They're being talked down to. They feel like they have nowhere to go. So here they are. They're these social outcasts. And these people are like, you come with us, we'll protect you. You follow us, you'll be one with us. Without understanding, yeah, they got some fucked up ideology. Like really fucked up. And I remember this time, I think I was in middle school, I think it was 6th grade. I would go to this movie store. It was near the apartments that I lived with my family. Well, my parents split, but and I'd go in there, and the manager behind the desk, he was a black man. I don't know how old he was, but he looked. I remember I went in there one day. He looked at me. He's like, "Do you ever think the way that you dress and the way that you look would intimidate somebody?" And I go, "I don't understand what you mean. I don't know what you mean." He's like, "Well, you wear all black and you shave your head." And I'm like, "Well, I've always shaved my head. My head's always been shaved since I was a kid. Since I was a little one. Like, I don't understand it. And I like black. Like, I didn't think anything about it. I just, different colors, they're really suited me. Like, I didn't really like other colors. I like color black. So I wore a lot of black. And on top of that, I was into punk music and goth music and heavy metal. So, black was just a natural thing I would wear." And he goes, well, your representation of you shaving your head wearing all black put you in that kind of that skinhead category. Like people would think you're a skinhead, and I was just like, but I'm not. I like black culture. I'm not. Like I listen to Eminem, I listen to Tupac, I listen to NWA. I'm like, and he's like, yeah, but look at you. And I was like, I see me. I don't know. It's like I couldn't understand what he meant by it. And I realized like after like it was a couple years later, like I realized like some of the people I hang out with, yeah, they're racist as fuck. Because they gravitated towards me I had mixed groups of people. I never realized like some of the closer like the people I hung out with me the most. They hung out with me because I was bigger and I was stronger than most of the other people, and I was intimidating as fuck. But they're racist as fuck. Now, years now, I don't know if they're still the same. I know one of them's probably not, but it's kind of crazy that your appearance will sometimes attract people. And like my appearance still now is like I'm still kind of bigger than other people. It's still kind of intimidating. I mean, I wear a lot of black shirts. Not gonna lie, I still like black. I don't really like white. It gets dirty really easy. I don't really like other colors. But let me check the time. Okay, but it's a thing, and it's in every culture, every race. There's gonna form a clique. Everybody's gonna form a clique. Instead of trying to understand one another, we're just form a clique. Especially when you talk down to people, treat them stupidly. And some of the people like nowadays, like growing up in high school, I stopped hanging out with everybody. I kind of distanced myself from people because I didn't want to be in a clique with people. I just I just I didn't trust people, especially like after my freshman year of high school. Like one of these guys I hung out with, the reason why I stopped hanging out with them going to my sophomore year is because the way he talked to people. Like he was driving like mainly females away, and I was like, dude, I like girls. I want to get laid. I can't get laid when you're acting like a dick towards every girl we walk past. Like you like walking past them, you call them a slut and a whore, and they look at you, and then they see me with you, and it's like, oh fuck, what can I do with that? So I pushed him aside, and when I did that, the repercussions of it were so vast, so vast. Like all the people like I knew before him, like I knew these people back in elementary school, went into middle school. I met him my 8th grade year in middle school, at a different middle school because I switched between my parents, and I came back and he was with them, and like we were all together. We formed a clique. We formed this clique where we were a giant group of people that hang out. And as soon as like I pushed them away, they just like all hell broke loose. Like they're like, nah, man, we're not friends with you. Like fuck you, dude. No, it's like you're the bad guy. Like he says, like, I was like, dude, what the fuck? It's like okay, fine then, whatever. So then they start talking shit. And that's like okay, you know what? I just, fuck people. I don't need really that many friends. I can just chill by myself. And that's what I did. And I did that go to my junior year. My mom moved again, and I was at a different school. And like I really like, I spent my first 3 weeks at that school not really, joining a group of people. Like my cousins went to school there, but I didn't really want to join in with their friends because they weren't the same type of people like I liked. And a lot of it, like I met a lot of them in different classes, and they're really like the uppity people, very, very strong Christian believers and stuff like that. And they just weren't my kind of people. So I spent like my first couple of weeks just being by myself. And then like this one girl, she's like invited me over to her table because like, I'm by myself. Like, fuck this shit. I just, I'm cool. I'm chilled. I got myself. I don't really need to venture out. And I started hanging out with her. And that's how I eventually met my two friends, like two good friends, like, and we dress like polar opposites of each other. Like I wear mostly all black, and they just wear casual stuff, but we like the same shit. We like the same music, same anime, same mangas. We all together. We have vast different friends. Most of their friends don't like me. Most people don't like me because I'm an asshole. I'm straightforward with people, and people don't like straightforward people for some odd reason because I don't know what it is because they're afraid I won't tell them something they don't want to hear. But that's just how it is, and it's crazy. It really is. And I like I said, this is me really rambling, maybe trying to get an understanding, see what kind of people are out there, what kind of person I am. I mean, it's crazy. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, some people might see this video, and be like, yeah, this dude might be a little bit racist. He might be lying. He might not be. I don't know. You take me however you want. I mean, I'm not really racist that I'm aware. I might be, I might not be. I'm not 100% sure. That's for other people to decide. I mean, I like older black culture. I don't like newer black culture. I don't like new music. I like the old rap stuff, back in the 80s, 90s, you know. It's the old rappers, you know. um I do like the baggy pants. I don't like the sagging, but I like the baggy pants. Just because, you get that nice breeze go up the leg. I do kind of like the baggier clothes. It kind of covers up your fatness a little bit. Always helps. But I like functionality too. I like older. Oh, I like older black. I like older rap. Older rap definitely. A little bit of new rock, but mostly old stuff. Still going on like Linkin Park, Breaking Benjamin. Um, People I hang out with, I hang out with everybody. I try to get as much information from other people's side of views. So I try to talk to everybody, and I try to find out, what's different. And crazy thing is like, you know, country people, like old country people, are the nicest people in the world, and really cool. Like I like where I live at. I live I live next to a bunch of old people. There's only two young couples that live near me. My girl's friends with. I ain't friends with neither one of them, and they feud back and forth. And I'm just like, nah, I'm gonna sit over here. Fuck y'all guys. I don't want to be y'all shit. But yeah, but most of my neighbors, they're older people. I live next to a church too, which you know I never. Nobody bothers me out here. Nobody bothers anybody else. I mean, I've had a couple of conversations with my neighbors, my older neighbors. They're on one side of the fence, on the other. One of my neighbors, he weed whacked the fence on both sides, and that was great for me because I didn't have a weed whacker at the time. I have a weed whacker now, but he still does it, so I don't even worry about it. And I have another one. He does this hill, and he does. I mean, he does great. Great on the hill. Like I suck at weed whacking on the hill. But last winter when I was working at this place, I ended up having a snowplow, and snowplowed my driveway. And I asked him, I was like, "Hey, look, I got this snowplow. Do you want me to come over there and snowplow?" I was like, "No, no, it's okay." And I was like, "Oh, okay." And they're nice. We don't bother each other. We don't talk to each other very often, but we're nice. And it's completely different from when I lived in the city. Like a lot of times, your neighbors kind of like they see you, they don't really want to talk to you, even though you live like 5 feet from each other, and then they want to talk shit and they want to complain about shit, and I don't like that. I like cities because it's easier to get things. Like I didn't need a car, but I like country. I like being out in the country because people are nicer. But up in the mountains, it's not just that. It's a lot different. It's a lot of these people haven't gone out in the world. I mean, I live in an area where the airport actually has an opening and closing time. So you can't fly in and fly out at any time you want. Not like in Richmond where you can go to the airport and fucking leave and go some other place. Not here, there's this time limits. This is when we fly shit. We don't do any night flights. There's no point in it. There's not enough people. We just don't care. You go to Richmond. Go drive 3 hours to Richmond if you want to go fucking somewhere else. But it's okay. It's fine. Well, this is my first video. in my first podcast. This is just like a base introduction of me. They're going on 35 minutes now. Just been rambling on. My next one's like I'm gonna try to do one once a week. I kind of want to do 2 hour. I want to try to get to an hour, maybe 2 hours, and like maybe I'll come up with something. As I think I'll come up with like stuff that I want to talk about, like key things I want to talk about. Culture's gonna be one of them, definitely, and the trends that I went through in school that are kind of that faded out, and how the trends are now, because I got younger siblings, and they're still in school, and the trends they have is different. But I hope y'all enjoy this. I do want to do a night episode. But for right now, this is introduction into the Simply Stupid Guy with your Simply Stupid Guy host, Michael Peck. Look me up. And inspirational quote of the day or the week will be good judgment comes from experience, and experience comes from bad judgment, which means you're going to fail, expect failure, learn from it, and use that failure as a way to not do it again and move forward. Never stop moving forward. Never give up. Like I failed these past 2 years. I like I tell you, like I failed. I'm still going. I got no choice. It's either fail. It's either, completely fail or completely give up or just keep going. And I'm gonna keep going. And if you're out there and you see this and you watch this and you like it, you can like my channel. You can subscribe. I don't know how many times we're going to do this. I don't know what to expect out of this. I don't know what y'all want. I don't know what I want out of this, and I don't know what people want out of me. But I'm just gonna put my thoughts and my feelings out there in the world and see if it hits out. So, good luck. Have fun. Make the day how you want it to be, not how other people want it to be. And, make a friend or two. Talk to somebody you wouldn't normally talk to. If you're a Democrat in a strong liberal sense, talk to a conservative, talk to a Republican. Be friendly. Have a discussion. Be nice. Open yourself up. Talk to people. But this is good. I'm gonna upload this right after this. Stay vigilant. Have fun. Adios. Simply Stupid out.